we should probably be live at the moment.
Cool.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Nightside edition of Press Play on this Saturday, March 26, 2022.
Yeah.
There we go. I know dates sometimes. We're the News 19 Nerds. I'm Michael.
Excuse me, Leroy.
That is Leroy, standing off to the side.
Make sure I got that right.
Sure. Okay. Great.
Lady Hellbender.
Lady Hellbender. So we are hopefully starting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That was confusing me seeing it from the YouTube side, seeing that it was slower than what it was supposed to be.
I mean, our equipment is slow, man.
Yeah, it is what it is. So I haven't talked to you on air in like 2 weeks. What's going on with you?
Not much. I've been going through watching The League.
Just rewatching?
I love that show.
That's a fun show. That's a fun show.
And I miss, because football's not on,
Mm-hmm.
and I miss the people talking about football that way.
Okay, yeah.
It's kind of like that. So yeah.
I get that.
What about you? What you been up to?
Just working, man. Working, trying to tell the news of Charlotte on a daily basis.
I feel that was a dig at me, and I do not appreciate it.
I don't know why you thought it was a dig of you.
I believe it was.
Sir.
I believe that was a slight.
Sir, you are petty. I am not.
That's a lie.
That's not.
Yes, it is. You are just as petty as I am.
I'll let you go. Give me an example. Without naming people. Without naming people.
I don't have to. I have your text messages.
Ooh, don't do that. I may have been hoisting on my own retard. I forgot about that. I do say some wild stuff in the text.
Sir.
So fair enough.
You're just more subtle. I'm more bombastic.
Touche. All right, fair enough. Just doing stuff up there. Behind the scenes stuff. You guys know I've been talking about this 4K TV forever. A couple weeks ago I told you I got that LG C1 65-inch finally. It was so big I didn't realize that I needed to get a new TV stand. So that took another week of finding the right TV stand that I wanted. I found one. So I still got to put it up, and then I'm going to enlist his services to help me actually put the TV up on the stand. Sometime. Be prepared for that call.
Cool. When is it?
I don't know yet. I'm just saying be prepared for that call. Maybe it's tomorrow. I don't
Not
know.
like they usually give you like a date, like a window of when.
Oh no! I got the stand.
Oh,
I got to put it together.
Oh, okay. So when I order stuff, they usually give you a date, and they're like, "Oh, the window is for 2 to 5."
I got it this past
Okay.
Wednesday. I just haven't had a chance to put it together. So that's what I'm working on. And once I do that, I will finally play some 4K PlayStation 5, and I'll be very excited to see all this stuff in superior 4K, UHD, all that good stuff.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you, playing games in 4K on a PS5.
Nothing like it.
I mean, there's some things like it,
Okay, fair enough.
but
It's a good experience.
it's a great experience. I'm
Okay.
telling you.
Cool. I was just seeing all the ladies. What is HBO Max? Oh, that was IMDb. Okay, cool.
I think this is Was that
I don't know. I was on the thing.
Oh, that was the Winning Time from HBO Max. Their Lakers show.
I was watching that.
You know, that's the show that broke up Adam McKay and
Will Ferrell? Yeah. I think it's all right. It's kind of all over the place, like a lot of Adam McKay stuff is when he does like his Big Short and all that other stuff and everything. But it's all right.
I find it interesting because a lot of people are like, should Jerry West be mad? Or no, Jerry Buss. Should people be mad about the way they're portraying Jerry Buss? And I'm like,
I mean, it's all for like dramatic fiction or whatever, right?
I mean,
some of it's like
it's
based on
based
historical accounts,
it's
but-
based on a book that's written. The book is correct.
Yeah.
The book is accurate. So I don't know.
Okay. Fair enough. What are we talking about this week?
We're talking about sequels.
Sequels.
We're talking about how long can a sequel... And see, there's different... This is a very interesting topic because we're in the age of known IP. You have to have a known IP in order to get money, funding, whatever. And how long has in between sequels, from the original movie to a sequel, is a movie still good? That franchise lived up to expectations.
Mm-hmm.
That's one topic. And there's so many different ways you can look at it. We have a certain criteria because there's a sequel that supposedly, there's a trailer for a sequel that's coming out that we're going to talk about. And you could not give a flying... And I'm interested to see what they do.
Yeah.
So that's one topic. Mm-hmm. Another topic is, we talked about this because your hot take was always that Microsoft and Game Pass is you believe that they are hoping, they don't care that you don't buy an Xbox. They just want you to buy the service.
Yep.
They want to be the Netflix of gaming.
Yep.
And Sony has said, aha, and rumor has it, first reported by Bloomberg, Code Name Spartacus could be introduced this week. Well, next week.
Next week.
Next week, yeah. Technically next week. Which would be Sony's version or Sony's response to Microsoft's Game Pass.
Sure. Where you want to start?
Let's start with Game Pass.
Okay. It's the best thing ever. I'm out.
All right, that wraps it up. You can like and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. Tell your friends.
I don't work for Phil Spencer, but hey, if you need somebody, look at us. The News 19 Nerds are always looking for opportunities.
Friend of the show, Phil Spencer.
So yeah, but I remember
We should
when
tag him in our videos.
oh, to see if he responds. He's actually pretty active on social media, so he may or may not. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we have always talked, or I have always talked about and championed what Game Pass was. You know, the quick elevator pitches, and you said it is a Netflix for games, more or less. At first, you were kind of like...
I poo-pooed the idea. I
did.
will not lie, because I have always said that Microsoft did not have AAA games that made me say, I have to buy the system.
Sure.
To me, Microsoft only had 2 franchises that were exclusive to Microsoft and an Xbox.
That you cared about.
Actually, 1, because I really didn't care about Halo.
Okay.
I love Gears of War.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Sure. Yeah, and I think Microsoft knew that. So their whole goal was, in addition to giving you all of these Microsoft games, let's partner with third-party studios for games that people want to play, and say, hey, even if it's not exclusive, if you're paying $15 a month, you get to play here as long as you want.
sir, they didn't partner. They literally took over. They bought.
Right, but I'm saying before they were
okay,
buying
sorry.
stuff. When
You're
Game Pass
talking about the
started,
beginning. Okay,
right,
I'm
when
sorry.
Game Pass started,
I apologize.
They didn't buy everybody like they're doing now.
Microsoft. Yeah, that's not fair that they pulled a Russia. Because I'm trying to think of because Microsoft just they went in the
spent
club.
money.
They
Yeah.
just went in the club and just threw it up.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And
wow.
People. It's a model that, I mean, clearly it somehow
Money
works
talks.
it somehow works for Netflix, because Netflix continues to gain subscribers, although they have slowly declined in subscriber growth this year compared to other years. But the idea of having just a streaming catalog service subscription of games or movies or whatever works.
Mm-hmm.
We see that because Sony may be releasing their own version of it. If it didn't work, Sony probably be like, we'll keep doing what we're doing. Because for a while, Sony was like, we're good.
Because and part of the reason why was because they had enough AAA titles that were unique to Sony that they did not have to worry about it until, I believe, Microsoft started pulling at Amazon. And Amazon is the company that I was thinking literally bought everything. Remember,
Sure.
when Amazon went on their spree, Amazon bought the rights to Tolkien. They bought the Wheel of Time. Amazon bought MGM. Amazon was like any and everything. They bought the rights to the Jack Reacher series. They bought the right to Tom Clancy.
You watched that
stuff.
yet?
I have not.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
They have literally bought everything. And then Microsoft said, we can Scrooge McDuck this.
We can do that.
Microsoft was literally like,
And if you notice, Game Pass, not only does it offer games now, it's offering more and more additional benefits like Amazon does in terms of getting music, or I know there's some type of deal with Whole Foods with Amazon, right? Is it maybe free?
oh no, Amazon bought Whole Foods.
Right, but how does, if you own Amazon Prime, do you get maybe cheaper groceries or something?
No, there are sales.
Okay,
that if you're a
certain sales
Prime
for-
member.
okay.
So if you go in and you scan your thing, there are certain sales and
Okay.
deals by having Amazon Prime.
Right, so with Xbox Game Pass, there are subscriptions you can get. I think there's a Spotify subscription you get for a few months. I think there is a Discord Nitro subscription you can get for a few months. And most recently, they just added Marvel Comics Unlimited for 3 months if you're a Game Pass member. So, I mean, they're giving perks all the time. They continue to find ways to make the service more and more attractive to people and to bring in new people. And them continuing to buy more and more studios helps them to grow the Marvel umbrella. Because at first, not Marvel, the Microsoft umbrella, At first, it was just like it was 100 games a month that are 100 games that would kind of rotate in and out. But that number is slowly growing as they get more and more studios under their belt. So it's.
You mean all the studios under their belt?
I mean, they're trying. Yeah.
I mean, because they bought ZeniMax, which basically every Western RPG, major Western RPG, is under Microsoft's umbrella.
Yeah.
They bought. What else did they buy? They just bought somebody else.
I mean, Activision.
Oh, sorry, I could not remember.
The big one, the big one.
They bought Activision.
Yeah, for $70 billion almost. Yep. Yeah, so I mean, we're going to see those games eventually come to Game Pass, I'm sure. And Microsoft has been smart this entire time. Microsoft has always said, and I've said this now, they haven't gone on record, but I fully believe if Microsoft could get Game Pass on Sony PlayStation, they would love that. Because again, they do not care where you're playing it at. They just want you that subscription service.
So with everything we know about Game Pass, what does Sony have to bring to be in a competition with Microsoft?
The big thing for me that they would need to bring is they would need to make because as great as Game Pass is, and as many studios as Microsoft has bought, I would still say Sony's first party lineup is better than Microsoft's first party.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
And Sony knows that. So the rumor is whenever Spartacus comes out, even if you get the streaming service from Sony, well, those aren't first party games that you're throwing up. That's not first party. It's made by Konami.
It's exclusive, though.
No, it's not.
Metal Gear Solid is exclusive.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Who else?
No Chick-fil-A bet?
Who else has it?
Xbox.
When?
Whenever Subsistence came out.
No.
Sure, you're right. Let's make a Chick-fil-A bet.
No,
don't look it up. Bet me first.
Nah.
All right, fine. Lost that one. I didn't lose it, but anyway, yeah.
Subsistence was on it, but 2 and 3 weren't.
Subsistence was a combo pack that had the other games in it. The more you know. Anyway, Sony has a killer first party lineup with the new Spartacus or whatever it's called. Still not first party.
Still not on Xbox.
Yes, it is. That's how I'm playing it on Game Pass.
What?
Yes. That's how I'm playing it right now on Game Pass.
I don't believe you.
Fantastic. I hate you.
These lies.
Yes. You keep derailing my train of thought. So Sony,
First party.
The rumor is once this comes out, no, they still will not put the first party games in the subscription service because they know that's their cash cow. People are going to still continue to pay for it. I think you're just being difficult now. I think if Sony were to put first party games in the catalog like God of War, like Horizon Zero Dawn, I hate you. I think that would be the game changer for me. Will they do it? I don't think they have to.
Keith Courage.
I don't even know what that is.
TurboGrafx 16.
I mean, I see that, but I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, these were awesome. I used to love. Yeah.
So there we go. But anyway, instead of you just doing this, you got a response. Are you trying to find more stuff?
I'm trying to
first party PlayStation.
No. So I agree with that statement. However, I would like to add on to that. Microsoft's big thing that I think is attractive to somebody like me is the fact that Game Pass allows you to have a digital-only Xbox or a PC because you have the PC side of that Game Pass allows you to play PC games, correct?
So if you have Game Pass, because there's Game Pass for Xbox, Game Pass for PC, and then Game Pass Ultimate, which is both of them.
Yes. So I believe IMAX just said he has Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah, that's one I got.
So Sony will have to have something similar to that, compatible with that. Sony has something Microsoft does not have.
Besides games?
Yep.
Okay. What's that?
They have a movie studio. And so here's the question.
Oh.
Yeah.
What can you see Uncharted under the Sony Spartacus thing, maybe?
Ooh, so now you see where I'm going. So here's my question. When this is announced, because right now, Sony was the only company that said, we're not going to build our own subscription service. We're going to make movies and we're going to partner with other streaming services and we're going to allow you to play our movies on your subscription service.
Chat, let me know, maybe you know the answer to this. Sony at one point did own Crackle.
They did.
Do they still own Crackle?
They still own Crackle.
Okay.
So here's my question. Will they start porting some of their AAA titles,
We talking about movies or games?
either one,
Okay.
onto their new service? Will it incorporate console games, PC games, and movies and music? Because that's the one thing Sony has as a company over Microsoft. Whereas Microsoft is a company that has done very well for itself in making console games, but for a Western audience. Sony is a company that has done all of it. So why not just make you a service that has everything Sony with your first party titles and all of your Sony movies, your entire catalog of Sony movies, that allows you to have more than just because you got to now make deals with those third-party studios that Microsoft has made a deal with.
Yeah.
So you're going to have competing services, and in business, let's be honest. If you come to me, let's say Rockstar, right? Microsoft has already come to me and says, "Hey, we want Grand Theft Auto on here." If I'm Rockstar, what are you doing? Sony. Microsoft said they're willing to pay me $80 gazillion. I want $83 gazillion. Okay.
Sure.
Sony just told me they'd give me 85 gazillion. So here's the question. What third-party titles are going to be on this service? Will they port any of these first-party titles that you can finally get on PC onto their service that are now in the Stream library? You mentioned God of War. You mentioned Horizon Zero Dawn.
I think probably all the ones that were there could be on there, because I also think those games are already on, what's their thing that's not PlayStation Plus? What's the other thing they have?
PlayStation Now.
PlayStation Now. I think those games are already there. So
Are they PC games, though? See, that's what I'm saying. So
right, I'm saying I think like a version of them is there, so I could see them bringing the
I don't
thing
know.
is-
I don't know if you have PlayStation Now, you have a PC. You can buy PlayStation Now, and those games are on PlayStation Now for you to play on your PC, unless they were made for the PC. God of War just now came to the PC. Horizon Zero Dawn just came to the PC last year. What other games are made or that are first title games that you talked about that have been made for the PC from Sony? And that's my question, because Microsoft has already gone out of their way to do that for a lot of their games. For a lot of their AAA games, they made sure, because they were a computer company. They were like, you may not buy a console, but you own a computer.
Yeah.
So Sony has always been like, we sell consoles.
So you kind of have that Trojan horse, as it were, because I don't know if a lot of people are talking about the other things that Sony owns that they could bring to the table. What the rumors have always been is there's going to be 3 tiers. The basic tier would kind of replace what PS Plus is, where you get a game or 2 every month.
Yep.
Then there'd be a middle tier that would give you that, plus the ability to stream certain games. And then the ultimate tier would give you that, stream the games, and it would give you a larger catalog of maybe going all the way back to PS1, PS2.
And see,
PS3.
that to me, because here's the question that I have for Sony, and that will get answered next week. Sony has been notorious about not being backwards compatible. They have gone out of their way to not until the backlash happened.
Yeah.
Whereas Microsoft said, "Hey, pop a disc in, see what happens.
Yeah,
It'll
much.
probably play."
Yeah.
Phil Spencer has always said, "We will try to make sure you don't have to keep every console." And Sony was like, "Pay me."
Their thing was, we believe in generations.
Yep.
And then there was a backlash plus the pandemic.
Yep.
I think the pandemic definitely, I mean, obviously it screwed everybody up, but I definitely think it screwed up Sony in the fact of, oh, we can't.
It screwed everybody up except for one company who is to this day has been notoriously anti-consumer. Nintendo. Nintendo believes in generations and they don't give a flying.
Yeah, I mean, I think it screwed them up too because.
They hadn't changed any of their business models.
Well.
They will make you pay for that next
Right,
gen.
right. But I mean, in terms of consoles, like the whole idea was instead of the Nintendo Switch OLED, we were supposed to get a Nintendo Switch Plus.
They never said they were going to give you that. We believe that. Because
yeah, but they also never said they were going to give you an OLED either.
Yeah, but Nintendo is dirty.
Okay.
I'm just when I say dirty, Nintendo is like, oh, you like this game? Mm-hmm. You have this limited amount of time to buy it, because once it's gone, Nintendo is the people. You know, like you watch a TV show and then a commercial comes on and they're like, "Come on down, these deals, let's Toyota thought." And once these deals are over, they're gone. Nintendo seriously adheres to that. I can still go and buy a Toyota for those deals that they said that I couldn't, during the month of Toyota thought.
Right.
Nintendo is like, nah, homie. You want to buy Mario Kart? Mm-hmm. Oh no, the window got shorter.
Sure, I get that. To me, I think it's interesting to see if this ever comes out, because you wonder if it's going to make other people follow suit. Because Game Pass was doing its thing, but even before Game Pass was big, you had companies that were doing kind of subscription service stuff. You had EA's, what is EA's thing? EA Plus? Whatever EA's thing is, they had their own little thing that you get EA games.
Yep.
Ubisoft kind of had something similar. Now, I don't know how well Ubisoft's thing is doing, but I know it's still around. EA is actually in
Game Pass.
It's in Game Pass.
So if you buy Game Pass,
right,
you have access to all that.
I wonder if Microsoft is trying to get Ubisoft under Game Pass.
And see, and that's why I said my question is, Sony kind of comes late to the party. Mm-hmm. So in order for Sony to get those elements into their Code Name Spartacus, you've got to bring something to the table, because then you have to play catch up. Mm-hmm. And when you play catch up, you got to pay more money. Yep. And if you pay more money, that means we got to pay more money. That's prices trickle down. So my question is, do these titles from that are not first party, not your Uncharted's, not your God of War, not your Horizon Zero, because they've already said Forbidden West ain't coming on there anytime soon.
Yeah.
They already said Ragnarok ain't coming. However, they still have the Marvel titles. So that means the Avengers. That means your Spider-Mans. Mm-hmm. Will those show up?
Possibly.
Will they make deals? Because another thing too is Sony has also said we're still not finished buying game companies, and I would not be shocked if they partnered with a little small company. You might have heard them. They're called Square Enix.
We might have talked about this, but what company would Sony need to buy in order for it to be like the Megaton announcement that Microsoft buying Activision was?
Rockstar.
Or Take-Two?
Rockstar and Take-Two. If they bought both of those. If they bought both of those, that would be a game changer, because with Microsoft buying Activision, those games that are under the Activision's title, even though all they do is make Call of Duty, those are still games that make serious money. Sure. And if you could buy Rockstar and Take-Two and have whatever games...
You would buy Take-Two, which owns
Rockstar. If you bought Take-Two, which then owns Rockstar, and then you had all of those studios under your umbrella. Again, I don't know how much you're charging. And again, when you're playing catch-up, because one of the good things about Game Pass is it's the same price as a streaming service. Mm-hmm. Game Pass is cheaper than Netflix.
Game Pass Ultimate?
How much is Game Pass Ultimate?
I think Game Pass Ultimate might be $14.99.
Yep.
And I think Netflix is $19.99.
Yep.
At least that's what I get from my account. Yeah.
Game Pass Ultimate, if it's you said $19.99?
$14.99.
$14.99. Oh, that's definitely cheaper than HBO Max. HBO Max is $16.99.
Okay. That's the like without ads or whatever. Probably, I guess. Okay. Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So that's what I'm saying. In other words, if I get that service, what do I get? Because here's another thing that Sony is not. Sony remember the backlash that Sony got for their digital titles, because that was one of the things that Microsoft did a good job of. Microsoft always had sales and deals on a lot of their titles, whereas Sony just got caught
Yeah.
this past year selling digital titles, upcharging people for digital titles, and not having sales on those digital titles, knowing that if you bought the Sony PS5 digital only, you're stuck. There's no other way for you to play X games. So that's my biggest question. And I'm going to be honest with you. I know there's not a lot out there. I know a lot of people don't. But if you put Vita and PS3 titles back on to whatever service you have, that's a big draw.
So what does the interface for that look like in terms of, because I never owned a Vita. Is there anything specifically on a Vita that wouldn't work on a console?
No, because I think a lot of the Vita games you could play. Well, I'm not sure.
Which one had the back touchscreen for the PlayStation Portable? It was the Vita, right? Because before that was PSP, so Vita. Okay, yeah. So I'm curious if, I guess they would just take that functionality out of the game or whatever. But okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
I'll put it on the bar. Yeah.
You would need something else. And remember the backlash they got when they were like, the PS Network is not going to have PS3 titles in Vita, and everybody's like, what? Mm-hmm. This, I think, and I said it's a game changer. To me, it would be a game. It maybe not be a game changer in the sense of what Microsoft is doing, but it would help with a system if you had a Vita.
Sure.
And you were able to play all the Vita games, and you were able to play PS3 games. Those games had backward compatibility, and you had a PS5. And you wouldn't be, because let's be honest with you. Let's be honest right now. If you own a PS5 or PS4, I'm not talking about that because there are many titles. But if you own a PS5, what titles can you play?
What do you mean?
As far as like
that are exclusive?
That are not just exclusive. In other words, that are PS5 games. You got about 12.
You got more than that.
Good ones.
Maybe. I don't know.
See, that's what I'm. So that's why I bring it up, because I think this is a good thing. I think having competition is good. I just think with Sony coming in a little later, if they do not bring the hammer with putting all of their AAA titles on there, all of their first-party titles, going backwards compatible, bringing your PS3, your PS2 library, even some of your PS1 library on there, bringing your Vita library, bringing some of your music, bringing some of your... And this is another thing. Within the Spartacus interface, take down the PSN network and do it kind of like Amazon does. Mm-hmm. Here's what you have for free. Here's what you can pay for. Here's deals on these things right here.
Sure.
I think, and make it a better user experience than Amazon.
I was going to say, yeah, because Amazon is
trash.
It's hard to tell what's free, what you got to pay for and stuff.
But
I
if you
wonder
made it
if
that
part
way,
of that, like, if part of that's on purpose.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, well, since I'm already here, I'll go ahead and buy it, which would be kind of scummy if it is. But
I mean, that's business.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what I said. That's why I brought up that, saying I think they have to go a different route than Microsoft, because Microsoft is ahead of them in the game.
Chat, let us know. You told us who has Game Pass Ultimate or what other Game Pass you have. Would you get the new Spartacus one? What tier would you get? Let us know in the chat. What would you do? Anything else game wise?
What else? What would make you buy it?
Oh, I already said that. If they put their first party games on there.
That's it.
That was my initial thought, but the idea of maybe if they somehow included Sony brand movies, that'd be cool.
Because here's the thing.
Because then I could see like 21, although a lot of the Sony brand movies I kind of already own digitally. At least the ones that I want. So.
Because here's the thing. Because this is what I think Sony needs to do. If Sony could make their PSN network and basically just change it to Spartacus, and said, okay, here's where we are. Tiers, you can still, if you have this, here's what's free. If you have this tier, here's what's free. If you have this tier, here's what's free. Mm-hmm. You do it like that, make it user-friendly, then you have a leg up on Microsoft. Because right now, if you're just going game for game, Microsoft got you for a little bit.
Sure. I think the idea, the cool thing about Xbox Game Pass is they have so many different genres of games. There's a good chance you can find at least one or two games that you would like to play a month. And at that
at $14.99.
yeah, I mean, for that, that's
Because here's the thing, you can dip in for $14.99, play Guardians, play Halo, dip out, wait till go play Outriders. Like, there's enough. And my question is, does Sony have that ability to put some of those titles on there? Or are they exclusive to Game Pass? Because here's the thing. Microsoft has never had to say they're exclusive to Game Pass because there's been no other service.
Yeah. To me, it kind of reminds me of when Nintendo, not the Nintendo Switch, but the Nintendo Wii U, where it was maybe a year or two behind the other consoles in the similar generation. And they were doing all these ports. And like, here's a Wii U exclusive. Like one of the Batman games had like a Wii U version where you guys use the pad. And people were like, that's cool. But the issue was people had already played the game 2 years ago on PS3 and Xbox 360, I guess, at that point. So it would be interesting to see if Sony's going to do the same thing of, oh, all these games that are on Game Pass, now they're on Sony, but there's a good chance you've already played them. So what's the new thing that Sony can do to bring new people in?
And that's why I said, for me, that's where I wonder where Sony's going to be with this. Because again, if you've never had to say this is exclusive to Game Pass because you've never had, and remember, we've seen games come on Game Pass and then they drop off. Just like on Netflix, they'll be on for a little bit. Is that the way it's going to work now on these services? Like, this is a timed exclusive on Game Pass, and then it's everybody has it. Or is it a situation where it's fallen off of Game Pass and then it shows up on Sony and it's on Sony forever?
Yeah.
And so these are questions that I'd like to see answered. And again, that basically what we haven't seen with streaming services, because right now I can watch 5 Resident Evil movies on HBO Max. I cannot watch. There's I think 9 total, or 8 total.
What, Resident Evil movies?
Yeah.
You talking about the live action ones with Mila Jovovich? That may be 6.
There's more than 6. I think there's more than 6. So there's 1 to 2, then there's Afterlife, Aftermath. Put your hand down. Because I watched 2 of them.
Yeah.
I watched 2 of them.
I think there's only 6.
I forgot how bad they were, man.
Yeah, they're rough.
Oh.
They are rough.
And then some of them came out during the time where they were trying to make 3D happen.
Yeah.
And so
Some of the shots.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And then
Good
I
times.
watched one of them, and I was like, did you just copy Dawn of the Dead for this scene?
I mean, they might have.
And I was like, and then they finally started using video game characters. I was like, it's too late now. That doesn't make any sense. How does Ada Wong, Wesker, and Leon end up in this situation?
You remember Ashanti was Nurse Betty?
Yep.
In the third one? She got ate up by them crows.
Her, you know who I forgot was in this?
Mike Epps?
Boris Kojo.
Oh. Yeah, Boris
Mike
Kojo.
Epps.
Boris
I
Kojo's
forgot-
in like 2 of them at least.
Yeah, he dies in whatever the second to last one is.
Okay, there we go.
Michelle
Spoilers.
Rodriguez
Yeah. She
was in
came
like
back.
4 of them.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm sorry, y'all. I bring that up because so there's a handful of Resident Evil movies on HBO Max, but then there's some of them that aren't. Then if you go over to Vudu or Amazon, you can buy them or you can rent them at $5.99 a piece, and then or you can go over to Redboxes. So that's what I'm wondering. Like, is that what we're going to be looking forward to?
Yeah.
So like if it's on Microsoft's service, will Sony be like, hey man, it ain't free over there, but for $7.99, I got you.
Yes. And I don't know, somebody smarter than us can figure this out, but somebody should make an app that shows you where things are streaming all the
They
time.
do.
Is that already
It's called
available?
Watch Play.
Watch Play. There
Yeah.
you go.
Hold on, I can check, but it's called Watch Play. So basically what it is, it's a website and there is an app. I think I still have it. Okay. If you type it in, it'll tell you where it's streaming. It'll tell you how much it costs on each service. Yeah, I have it on my...
Zayla Maru said, I had the 3D one for my Mitsubishi TV. Movie was bad. Yeah.
Bad is an understatement.
Yeah, it was rough.
So we've talked about games. So let's move on to movies.
Sure.
Let's go ahead and get that out the way because I found this interesting. You have been a staunch, and why is the mouse not working now? Oh, it's over there. That's why.
There we go.
Okay. All right. So here we go. So to catch you guys up, if you haven't been noticing, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is coming out in 2 months. May. There's a rumor, someone put it out on Twitter, that the Avatar movie sequel will have a trailer in front of Doctor Strange.
Because that movie's supposed to come out Christmas of this year, right?
I don't know when they're coming out.
Okay.
Because we've been hearing about these Avatar movies. There's a Disney Avatar ride.
I think there's a Pandora Land.
Yeah, there's a Pandora Land. I was asking Michael, was he excited about this? And Michael was like, you explain why you were not a fan of Avatar.
Avatar was a very visually stunning movie with a plot that was been recycled by movies many times over. That's it. I think I was more colorful at the time. But now
you had some things to say.
Now that I have time to settle, the movie's fine, but people are like, man, it's groundbreaking. I guess it is groundbreaking in the sense of what it did visually with the fidelity and all that stuff in 3D and everything. But in terms of the story, it's like, we've seen this story several times. I'm not the first person to say it, but this story is a carbon copy of Ferngully. It's Dances with Wolves. It's any of those type of movies.
Man, you were angry when I first brought this up. You were like, you mean Ferngully?
Hey, Ferngully was a great movie.
You were like, Ferngully?
Yes. I don't know if I did all that.
Yeah, you were.
I don't think I did all that.
Sir, when I brought up Avatar, your stink face, you make the face that toddlers make when they're...
I won't disagree with that. But yeah, I mean, I guess the thing for me was, it seemed like Avatar was so long ago.
It was 2009.
That is such a long time.
It's not, though.
For a sequel to come out. I realize now it's not, but at the time I was like, that seems like such a long time for a sequel to come and for people to care. Now, I know I'll be proven wrong and the movie will make billions of dollars.
Whoa, I don't know if it'll make billions.
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
People love Avatar.
I don't
people,
think...
I think people like the idea of escaping to a Pandora, escaping to a new world to get away from stress, to do whatever. I think it'll make billions of dollars.
I don't think it... this is where I stand. I don't know if the story holds to make all of these sequels. And let me tell you why.
Sorry, when I say billions, I mean, I feel like Avatar 2 will make another $1 billion. You don't think Avatar 2 is going to make $1 billion?
I don't know, man.
Wow, that'll be fun. I don't even need to bet on it. That's just a fun thing to watch. But I think that easily. I think you might get diminishing returns as they go on. We'll see, because James Cameron
does only what James... Hold on. How does South Park do it? What is it? South Park's...
I don't know.
Oh, man, they got a great episode about James Cameron. I love it.
But, like, I think we haven't seen really a series of movies from James Cameron, right? Like, because...
He just does one and done.
Well, he did... Nope. Terminator 2, right? 1 and 2? James Cameron? You're the movie buff, man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was James Cameron.
Yeah, that is.
What I'm saying is, like, beyond 2, he doesn't do 3, 4,
That's
5.
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what, like, he
so
doesn't.
I feel like 2 might get you $1 billion.
I don't
Beyond that, I don't know.
Here's where I stand, and this is the one thing I will say, and if you remember, this is why I brought up Resident Evil earlier, because we were going to talk about this. Avatar came out, and Avatar was the movie. Because remember, Avatar was in 3D. Mm-hmm. I watched Avatar in 3D, and I'm one of those people who wears glasses. Having 3D glasses over my glasses sometimes gives you a headache. There are 2 movies that I've watched that I was like, that's not bad in 3D. One is Avatar. The second one is Transformers Revenge of the Fallen.
We might stop the podcast. That's the end of the nerd, y'all. I wasn't ready for you to say that. Don't you ever give that movie props.
And I will say this. It wasn't as terrible as I thought it was. Because in 3D, I was just like, that's cool.
They tricked you.
Like I didn't care.
So you couldn't pay attention to the story.
I didn't give a crap about plot because by 3, I was like, this is what it is. Mm-hmm. Like I fought people on 1 and 2, but by 3 I was like, okay, I'm in it. Uh-huh. And then the rest of them, I was on. You know how you love Fast and Furious because they just don't make any sense. Mm-hmm. When Anthony Hopkins showed up with Stanley Tucci as a robot, I was in. Anthony Hopkins riding that car with that robot, I lost it. I was like, just
Have you seen all of them?
Yep.
At one point, Stanley Tucci was in one of them.
Uh-huh.
And then in the next one, wasn't he Merlin?
Yep.
But he was also somebody else in the movie?
Son, these
man.
Transformers were so wild to the point where they had what's his name?
Having said all that, we're really excited for Ambulance.
Oh, I am.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay.
And the bombastic action, man, I guess.
Bay Knights Unite.
We'll be there.
We're back.
Yeah.
Backstreet Boys, all right.
Yes.
I may watch Revenge of the Fall of the Night. That's like, that movie is just so over the top. And it has Tyrese in it. Oh.
Man.
Fast and the Furious.
I'm about to say Tyrese, Fast and Furious, and
Transformers.
Tyrese found his niche.
I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. So here's why we talked about this. I don't know if you're going to get $1 billion with Avatar 2.
Okay.
I'm wondering if the shock of... Here's where a perfect storm could happen. With all your Marvel movies, with all your Lord of the Rings, all your other stuff, Avatar is different.
Sure.
Avatar came out at a time where everybody was like, this is new. It's James Cameron. It was when we were pushing Sam Worthington on us.
That guy is okay.
But remember, they always find a guy. There's
Yeah.
always the straight white guy that they always like trying to push as the new action hero.
Sure.
They did it with Taylor Kitsch for a while. They did it with Colin Farrell for a while. With everybody, like, he's in everything.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Worthington was that guy where they were like, he's the next whatever.
Yeah.
And this was the movie they were like, oh, we found him. And if you remember, everybody was in this movie. Giovanni Ribisi, the beautiful, the wonderful, the do no wrong, Sigourney Weaver. Michelle Rodriguez was in this. So you had a very good cast. Mm-hmm. Then on top of that...
Man, they were fighting for unobtainium. That's a first draft script.
Sir, and
unobtainium.
you trashed Transformers. At least they had Energon cubes. At least they admitted they had things that were...
You're right.
It's
more just the name.
Giovanni Ribisi had a block cube on his desk, and it was just sitting there floating from something you could have gotten from Sharper Image.
Yeah.
But here's what...
It's a beautiful movie, though. It's a beautiful movie.
And that's what it was. It was a beautiful movie. It was the all-time... It was the #1 movie of all time.
It's the highest grossing movie.
Highest grossing movie of all time until Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Did Avatar take it back again? I feel like they released it again for it to take.
Oh, they're going to release it again.
I could see them releasing those movies back and forth.
Yep.
Over and over.
I can see them releasing.
Disney owns both of them now.
I can see them releasing it right in September, October, right at that time to get you hyped.
For the second one? Yeah, maybe.
But you were like diminishing return, It's only been 2009, 2022. How long is that?
I don't know. I don't do math. Is that 12 years?
I mean, if you're talking sequels.
Now, here's the question. What's the money for... Well, I guess that wouldn't work either way. Because Blade Runner was never a financial success.
It was not. Yeah, it was a cult classic.
Cult classic.
It had different. It had it wasn't really a critical darling. But what it did was influence cyberpunk genre for everything.
Yeah.
If you had cyberpunk, you had something from Akira, Blade Runner, Ghost in the Shell. These were the granddaddies of cyberpunk. Snow Crash, Necromancer. These were the things. Johnny Mnemonic. This Blade Runner was the father of them all.
Yeah.
So even though it wasn't a $1 billion success, it garnered enough that people were like, let's do a sequel.
Now, was Blade Runner 2049 profitable?
No.
Okay. So see, that goes to your argument about whether or not Avatar 2 could make it.
I don't know.
I would push back and say, at least in that case, the first Avatar was successful.
It was, yes.
So I don't know.
But see, but then we start talking about how long in between sequels do you have diminishing returns, and does it work? So here's another one, and I'm gonna put it in here. You tell me, because you watch movies.
Yeah, sometimes. I've never seen any of these.
What?
Yeah, I know. They
None
miss
of
me.
them.
No,
Not even the first one.
No, I'm not against the movies. I just kind
Holy
of missed the window, and I never went back to watch them. What he's typing chat is Bill and Ted.
How about now?
Yeah, we're probably 30 seconds behind, so hopefully you guys are hearing audio on us now. Mics are what they are. They're fun times.
Did you see it go out?
No. I happened to look down here and somebody said static.
Better,
So I was
okay.
like, okay.
All right. So where did you guys lose us? I'm waiting for the answer.
Yeah. You probably could have typed it.
None of them. You just blew my mind. So in all seriousness, where do you think Keanu got his? Where do you think everybody went?
For me, it was Speed.
Interesting.
But that's probably because that's where I saw him.
But I guess what I'm saying is, so for you, Speed was where you were like, oh, he's a household name.
Well, I guess household name in the sense of I know that person.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I knew what Bill and Ted were. I knew he was in it. Never saw him.
But so what about Point Break?
I did see Point Break.
So
To me, that wasn't a household name because it's like, oh, this is just some Johnny Utah. Is that his name?
Hold on, but when did you see it? Did you see it when it came out, or did you see it?
No.
Okay, so you were not of that generation when these movies came out. Keanu was everywhere, and so that's why I said these movies made him a household name. So for people to say, and do you remember when Point Break, when they redid the movie? And
Yeah. They made a new one?
Do you remember the backlash for that?
Yeah.
That's why.
And
And that's why I said for you.
Okay.
And that's why I said for you, it's not a big deal. But for people who love those movies in that point in time,
yeah,
that was like their Ghostbusters. You can't do this.
I guess, but Point Break was fine.
Again, you think it's okay,
Right.
but you forget.
It did influence me. I get it.
Think about this. Lori Petty was a household name and people loved her.
Lori Petty's awesome.
But she was awesome.
Tank Girl.
That's my
League
point.
of Their Own.
That's my point. So you see that trajectory? You're like, she's awesome. Mm-hmm. That's how people felt about Keanu from those movies.
Okay.
So that's why I said, and I bring all of that up to say, it's not low stakes for them to do that movie again, Bill and Ted. A lot of people were like,
sorry, in terms of low stakes, I didn't mean low stakes. I meant low stakes within the story of the universe. I felt like they're saving the world, but they're kind of just, it's not the end all be all. And I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say, but that's what I meant by low stakes. Not in
You-
terms of
you mean it's
not
plot.
like public perception. Yes, not like public perception.
In other words, they're not the Avengers.
Right.
So it's like these two weird dudes are going to try to save the world, and it's like, but it's not the Avengers where it's like Thanos is coming.
Right.
Okay, I can see that.
Like in the parts that I saw, I never, and to be fair, I never saw it from beginning to end, but I'm never like, oh, they're not going to not do this. I never got a sense of dread or whatever in the parts that I saw.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
I can see that. So that's why I said
IMAX, it was Bill and Ted where I found out about Keanu.
So the reason why I bring up Bill and Ted is because Bill and Ted Face the Music. So that came out in 2021, right?
Oh, Geeky Andre, the first Fast and Furious is the same plot as Point Break, cars instead of surfboards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a well-known thing. Thank you for pointing that out for us.
What year?
Ryan Porter, Keanu has done everything right that Nick Cage has done wrong. Interesting. I do want to see that new Nick Cage movie, though. Mm-hmm. That looks wild.
So hold on. Bill and Ted came out in 2020. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure came out in 1989. I bring that up and say, was it successful as the first one? Probably not. Was it successful critically and did people enjoy it? Did they love it? Yes. Mm-hmm. So that's a situation where you have a movie that came out decades ago. Mm-hmm. They brought it back to people liked it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. The difference between some of these movies and some of these sequels is them trying to restart a franchise. They're trying to backdoor a whole new. Perfect example. Mad Max. Is this a sequel?
Oh.
See, again, it's a very good question. We know we have the original movies with Mel Gibson. Mm-hmm. We've switched out the actor. It's the same universe. People, is this a reboot or is this a sequel?
Yeah, could be all of it.
And so
could be a requel.
I wish you saw Scream. Because that's the exact word that they used in Scream.
Oh, requel?
Because
I've read the Wikipedia.
And basically, what we're in right now is the requel. That is a sequel that reboots. That is basically riffing off all the other movies. So,
sure. If
you take Matrix Revolution, Matrix, whatever the last one was.
Talking about the one that just came out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
All of the movies, this referential treatment where you're talking about the movies and where they were. That's basically what we're in. And is Avatar going to be like that where they have this idea of, is it going to be a direct sequel or is it going to be a kind of like, yeah, that happened, we're going to act as if.
I imagine, and I don't know about this because, again, I don't care necessarily about the story, but I imagine it's probably a true sequel. I think James Cameron, in his mind, he worked on some underwater water technology that's going to make the world incredible, mm-hmm. and you're going to see that in 2, 3, 4, and 5 or whatever.
But again, I guess that's what the reason why I say that is because right now,
Geeky Andre. I don't know if I've seen Geeky Andre in here before, but thank you for coming to the chat and being with us. But anyway, Geeky Andre says the Creed movies, Ghostbusters Afterlife, and Scream 2021 did it right.
I will agree with you on.
I still haven't seen Ghostbusters Afterlife yet.
Ghostbusters Afterlife, I think, was just okay. I'll say the Creed movies, but the Creed movies aren't really sequels. If you think about it, the Creed movies are within the universe of the Rock, or movies within the Rocky universe. Mm-hmm. They're not technically sequels because they don't follow Rocky. They follow Apollo Creed's son. Mm-hmm. So it's almost as if like Rocky is like the Creed movies are kind of like their Captain America movies, where like Rocky's Iron Man, and then you have so. I personally thought Ghostbusters was okay. I thought it was a cute movie. Mm-hmm. To me, it didn't capture what the original Ghostbusters were for me, and that's just my opinion. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I like the
2016 one?
I do like that one. I thought that was more. A lot of people don't. I thought that was more akin to what the original Ghostbusters were.
Okay.
Well, Ryan Porter, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever has already finished filming. He's already said that he's finished filming. Now they just need to put it together. It comes out later this year. We'll see how that goes. David Cooper, our James Bond film sequels. Every time you get a new James Bond, it's a reboot with the exception of Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig. Because M carries over.
I would still say it's a reboot. Only because in that first Casino Royale, she made it seem like it was new that he was becoming 00 status.
She said it was new, but she also said, I should have never promoted you. Which means, my question is James Bond a moniker like 007 is? Because you used the same M from the Pierce Brosnan one. And we've never answered that question. Which I thought was interesting because remember, Captain Marvel's mama was 007, but she wasn't James Bond.
Yeah.
But she was 007.
Yeah.
So what I'm wondering is every white guy who was 007 renamed James Bond so that you just keep calling him. I'm being totally honest.
I believe that you are sincere in what you're saying, but it sounds so wild and preposterous to me. That
Really?
I just had to be like
as
this.
wild as preposterous as a plant farm in a Soviet pen.
Oh. I mean, I don't know, man.
As wild as a man who owns a newspaper company who uses headlines to start World War III.
What a movie.
I'm just saying.
Was that Tomorrow Never Dies?
Yep.
Man, what a movie.
Christmas comes twice a year.
Ooh, buddy.
I'm just saying, think about it.
Yeah.
What is James Bond, have we just stumbled upon the fact that Ryan Porter brings up a good point. Is every James Bond a sequel, and that James Bond is literally a moniker for a child soldier?
I don't know.
For a child soldier.
Just say Halo. What are you talking
I'm
about?
just saying, it sounds crazy, but doesn't it make sense?
No.
Yes, it does. That the British government would take a child, train this child from once they look around and they're like, hey, little fancy white kid got killed in the wilderness.
So then are you saying that there were more Alec Trevelyan's who were 006s?
I'm saying that in this world, that James Bond, the moniker that James Bond inhabits, MI6 will take a child who fits a certain criteria and then grooms him, renames him, because he has no family, and says, you are now the premier spy for us.
I don't agree with that, but okay.
And
that's a theory.
And this is the thing. And so here's the thing. The world knows that there is a James Bond, and the reason why they don't know who he is because every time this dude shows up, it's a different dude. And so you're like, here's a picture of James Bond. That's not him. And you're like, he's a myth. He's a legend. Because it's a new dude every time.
I mean, you blew up your own dynamite there. I guess that's...
I'm just saying, man.
That's a theory.
That's a theory.
That's something.
I'm throwing it out there.
You are. Yeah. Oh, Lord. What is this? Ryan Porter, I feel like Tom Cruise has rebranded Mission Impossible, though, with sequels. Mission Impossible is interesting because he's always Ethan Hunt, and he usually gets a new squad of people. I guess except once 3 and 4 started, they kind of repeating the same people. But,
well, no, he's rotated them out because he had the beautiful Paula Patton. God, man.
Yeah, she was in 4.
And then he had
But then he kept Benji and Ving Rhames.
But Ving Rhames wasn't there when Hawkeye was there. Hawkeye was there for 2 of them, and Ving Rhames wasn't. Remember, Ving Rhames?
No, he came in at the very end.
He came back at the end.
Yeah.
And then he came back.
So he was still in the universe.
They're still in the universe, yeah,
Right.
but he uses different people.
Yeah.
Whoa, you're not going to say MI2 is terrible. Zayla Maru, I'll kick you out. You're not going to talk about John Woo like that. No, you won't.
MI2 is not great.
So, whoa.
It's not.
First of all.
It is objectively not a good movie.
First of all, it's better than 1. gonna tell me Brian De Palma's movie was better than John Woo's movie? You will not, sir. The Chimera virus.
I think I
nope,
might.
Nope.
I think I might.
Nope.
Because here's
Nope.
the thing with
No,
two.
you won't.
Two kind of jumped the shark with the face mask ripping off. For me.
See, they did
it's
it
a
in
different
one.
face mask.
Hold on,
They
you
didn't,
can't
they
tell
didn't
me.
do it that many times. in
John,
one.
you didn't. You can't tell me that you didn't know John Voight was still alive.
That's not the point I'm making. The
I'm
point I'm
saying-
making is one person ripped the mask off, then another person ripped the mask off, and then another. It's like, this is too many masks ripping off. What's happening?
No, it wasn't.
All right.
You're not gonna tell me that it was more mask ripping off than 3 and 4.
I think
Nope.
I would make a bet on that. I think there was more mask rip-offs on 2 than there were on 3 and 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna count mask ripping off tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you, Geeky Andre. Thank you. It's the weakest. Y'all not gonna come for John Woo like that. He had doves, 2 guns, and motorcycle crashes. Now, don't get me wrong; those motorcycle crashes were a little off. However, with fake Wolverine, I personally, we're not doing this. You're not gonna come for me. Anyway,
Okay. All right. Cool.
what were we talking about? Sequels, diminishing returns.
I don't even know. Now the chat's over here fighting with each other about Mission Impossible.
That's you. You did.
You did that.
I did not bring up Mission Impossible. I said James Bond. You brought up Mission Impossible.
I read Mission Impossible, and then you said, "Whoa, you're not going to talk about Mission Impossible 2." I never graded.
You said, and you were like, yeah, they had to reboot because 2 was like, and then I was like,
That's
no,
not what happened.
We're not doing that.
No, that's not what happened.
We can watch the video, sir.
Yeah, please
Y'all-
watch the video.
Oh, you coming just for John Woo and Doves? Okay, all right.
Now, I do enjoy John Woo and his doves.
Don't.
That's not my issue with the movie.
We're not doing that
Because I got that's John Woo.
because I'm gonna tell you right now, Dove should be in every movie.
I'd be okay with that. But to me, it was just too wild.
I'm telling you right now, if Captain America came out right when he was about to whip Iron Man's ass with some doves, you'd have been down for that. When
Maybe.
Tony said, he used to be my friend once, Captain America came out with some doves, and then
Maybe.
whipped his ass,
Maybe.
you'd have been on board.
Maybe. J.J. Abrams saved Mission Impossible franchise. I can't argue with that.
I hate you people.
I mean,
But what's the longest sequel, do you think, from... Because this...
chat, help us out with that. What's the longest interval between movie sequels?
Because this brings up a good point. Will you get diminishing returns if you wait so long if you don't reboot it? Because right now we're in a genre of reboot everything.
You know, there's a new Eraser movie coming.
Yep. Without Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I saw the thumbnail.
People already trashing it. They were like, Arnold's not in it and you got a new black girl? Nope. Out.
Because which one was Eraser? That was Arnold and
Vanessa Williams.
Okay, got it.
The beautiful Vanessa Williams. I was
Is that
so...
the one with the rail guns?
Yep.
Okay, I can't.
And James Caan was a bad guy? Oh.
James Caan, man, that's a. I hope
That's
nothing
a
bad comes
solid
out.
bad guy.
Has anything bad come out about James Caan?
No.
Good, I hope not, because James Caan just seems like a cool guy.
He does.
He does. He does.
But yeah, so yeah, it's that's what I'm. If you think about it, you brought up again, Avatar is.
Man, you remember that show Vegas?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about that now. I feel like watching that with James Caan. Go ahead.
Remember, because the black guy who was his second in command is the same guy. His name is Tony in another show. I'm trying to remember.
I know. I can
You know exactly what I'm talking
who
about.
The guy
Yep.
is, but I can't think of the actor.
I can't remember his name, but he's in another show. I always liked him. He's always a pretty decent dude.
Yeah.
He plays the coach in the
Now
Girlfriend's
let's just-
Guide to Divorce.
Okay.
And he ends up with the woman who plays Cuddy from House.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now we'll just look up people.
No. Kim from Chicago. You got to read that one. Kim from Chicago.
I'll get to it. I'm trying to find. Where is?
Ooh, I just thought of something.
James Lejour? I don't know. He was Mike Cannon was his name.
Ooh,
But
here we go.
oh, Bad Boys 2 to Bad Boys for Life.
2003 to 2020.
17 years.
Okay. Now, do they have to be good?
I mean,
The sequels.
who knows? I don't feel like you could What determines good?
What
Like
Kim
box
Fisher-
office success?
box office and critical success, because Kim from Chicago brings up a good point. Independence Day resurgence. How long after Independence Day?
See, you like the second one.
I do.
I'm like,
Because
nope.
it's trash.
Nope.
It is.
It is trash, but like
It
it's
is-
it's not good trash.
It is terrible.
It's just bad.
So Brian Porter brings up Will Smith and I Am Legend, and I don't know how they're going to do an I Am Legend 2, because I thought he died. I thought he sacrificed himself for the Hispanic lady and her son.
Spoiler for the first Kingsman. I thought Colin Firth was dead. They found a way to bring him back.
No, that wasn't Kingsman.
That was Kingsman. He got shot in the head at the church? Or once he beat up everybody at the
Wasn't
church?
it? It's called something else. Is it called Kingsman or is it called Secret Service?
The first one?
Yeah.
Maybe it's called Kingsman: The Secret Service.
Yeah,
or something like that,
because the one that just came out is called Kingsman.
Yeah. I'm talking
Okay.
about 1 and 2,
Okay.
not the third
Okay.
one. But I'm just thinking, in terms of bringing people back from the dead, they'll write around it.
Toy Story 3 was how many years after Toy Story 2? Now, it wasn't 2 and 3 that was the longest. It's 3 and 4. 3 and 4 is the one that had the big gap between it.
Did you say so?
Yeah, because remember, 3 was the end when they were like, everybody thought they were going to die in the furnace, and then 4 was the one they brought back, because they brought back Bo Peep.
Yeah.
So Zayla Maru, if you say there is,
Resurgence was 20 years after ID4.
yeah, but Resurgence doesn't have any of the original cast members, with the exception of the president and Vivica Fox, and they die.
Yeah,
The
but
president dies.
there's a big photo of Will Smith in it, right?
Yeah, because he died in a test crash.
Is that what happened to him?
Yeah, remember, because he didn't
Oh,
come back.
sir, you were forgetting Judd Hirsch.
Yeah, Judd Hirsch. Yeah,
You just said it didn't have anybody. It
You're
had
right.
Judd
You know what?
Hirsch.
You're right. You're right.
And your favorite scene, driving that
Oh my
stupid bus.
gosh. You know what? I may go watch that instead. You know what? I may go watch that instead. You're right. I forgot about it. Because
Yes.
Judd Hirsch and them kids, I swear to you, if Netflix said, we are charging you more money and the money is going to reboot Independence Day, and we're going to follow Judd Hirsch and these kids as he tries to teach them, and he takes care of them as they are part of the new Space Defense Force as they go to the alien home planet to.
Yeah.
I would watch that, and I would pay the extra money, because
Okay.
that movie is objectively not great. But Judd Hirsch. Thank you.
Okay. I think we're done on that.
Are we? Because I'm just.
I'm shell shocked.
James
James
Bond got you?
Yeah.
James Bond got you?
No, I think the Judd Hirsch and the bus got me. That James Bond foolishness is just foolishness.
But I mean, that's a good question that people need to start talking about and need to start thinking about. And this is what I say to a lot of people. Because I'm going to bring up Robert Loggia made a cameo. You're right. Wait, hold on. How did he make a cameo? Because he died in the first one. Oh, you mean in the first one he made a cameo. You're right. Robert Loggia did make a cameo because he died. The aliens blew up. He's like, Mom! Mom! And the beam got him. It was right there on the tip of my tongue. Oh, man. Coming to America.
That's a big gap.
That's a huge gap.
And you didn't even see this thing.
I did
right?
not.
Yeah.
But this is what brings up where I was asking you, which started this whole thing. When I asked you about Avatar, and you were like, and I was like, so you're not going to see it? You were like, I will see it.
Of course I'm going to see it.
See, and that's where
I'm a fan of the genre.
Here's where I differentiate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a sequel to F up my version of the original. And I don't need to see Made in America, Coming to America, whatever you want to call it. Coming to America is perfect. I'm done. And that's why I said for some people, you don't watch it. Mm-hmm. Because some things are not for you. And I'm like this. I don't need it. I love Eddie Murphy. Mm-hmm. Think he was great in Orbit.
So many takes I wasn't prepared for tonight. Man.
But I mean, I don't think everything doesn't need a sequel. And everything doesn't need to be watched. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I'll ever watch Coming to America 2 unless it's on, like...
It's just called Coming to America.
I don't give a flying what it's
I'm
called.
just telling you.
I ain't watching it.
Okay.
But I will watch Avatar. I'm actually looking forward to it because I want to see what technology uses. You will watch it, but you don't care.
Yeah. I was like, oh, all right, cool.
But
You know what? Now that I think about it, I am more curious now because we're past the Fern Gully story. So what are you gonna say?
There you go.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Are you just gonna reboot all the Marvel movies? At 2, 3, and 4? Like, what are you gonna? Because like, they brought up a good point. Fast and the Furious is basically Point Break. Mm-hmm. So what is your sequel? Because Sigourney Weaver supposedly died because you didn't rescue her from the tree thing. Michelle Rodriguez, like, who's coming back? Who's still alive? And
Zoe Saldana's in it. What do you mean? She is.
I know, but
You don't care. Okay.
I mean, her best movie is Columbiana.
I did a rewatch of that movie. It is not well choreographed.
No. And that's bad because that's her best movie.
Yeah, like she's fine in it, but that's another story. We should talk about movies that have bad choreography and good choreography.
Bad fight choreography?
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
We should just we could do a whole segment on Resident Evil.
Sure. I was mainly talking more about martial arts stuff, but yeah. That
Resident Evil.
Yeah.
How you fighting the zombie dogs?
You run up the wall and kick them. That's what the movie taught me. If I see a movie with a zombie dog, I'm gonna run up the wall and kick it. Now I'm a bit chunky, so I'll probably fall. But
you still might get the dog if you fall on him.
Yeah. Oh, sir, well played. That was good. I didn't even see that one. That was good. That was good. What got you through the week? The past 2 weeks.
The library, man.
Okay.
I've read like 5 or 6 books. I'll get a beer. I'll turn on lo-fi hip-hop on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And I've been watching The League, and I've just been reading library books. I've caught up on all of my X-Men stuff. I've caught up on Spider-Man. Ben Reilly's back. I've caught up on my Captain Marvel stuff. Captain Marvel has a half-sister who's a Kree super warrior.
Sure.
She's now the new, her half-sister is now the new Accuser. Like, I've caught up on some indie books. Something is Killing the Children is amazing, and when that comes on TV, I will not watch it. That is a horror show that I don't need in my life, but them books are good. So yeah.
Ken from Chicago says Star Trek Picard Season 2 is a big improvement over Season 1.
Ooh.
We're gonna start watching that.
Yeah.
About that.
We finally got the app working again.
Yeah. It has commercials.
Oh, my bad. I didn't buy that one. She asked me which one I wanted to. She was like, which one do you want? I said, we don't need a premium. Because it had like a whole bunch of stuff we didn't need. And I was like,
ain't your money.
I know, but this is the thing. I didn't want them to be like, what's this charge?
When we're watching Halo, why is there a commercial? What is this? Commercials. I live my life without commercials now.
Because that's your fault, Geeky Andre. I know this is your first time here, but I blame you for that, sir. Why did you watch that? Why? Why did you watch Medea as an FBI agent?
We're not doing this. All right, what got me through the week?
Sir, he said Alex Cross.
He did.
That's on him.
Yes. What got me through the week? Tunic. Game came out
you told me
2
about
weeks ago or so. It's a cute little fox who wears a tunic. It's inspired by Zelda, but it is much harder than that. Sorry. It looks very cute, but it's a harder game than what it looks like. Inspired by Zelda, kind of has a Dark Souls presence to it as well. Very fun game, and the premise behind it, I don't want to spoil anything for the idea of Tunic, but if you have Xbox Game Pass, you should definitely download it. It's a fun game. Playing Nobody Saves the World, which is a dungeon crawler RPG from Drinkbox. Those are the people that made Guacamelee 2, those kind of games.
What that is, but
they're fun arcade-style games. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, playing that, really enjoying that. I'm in Chapter 5 right now. I don't know how many chapters there are, but...
The fuck? That dude said there was a scene in Alex Cross where Tyler Perry slow-mo kicked someone in the nuts.
Yo, we out. Yep. You saying that? We out.
I didn't say he said it.
I know, but that's enough. Y'all find us here on YouTube. We'll try to be back next Saturday. Let you guys know. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. My brain is broke. Go ahead and sign us out. Sign us out. We done. Thank you, Zayla Maru.